Welcome back to my walkthrough for Resident Evil Revelations to my friends. This time around I'll be playing the DLC episode Little Miss, where we play as Natalia. It's going to be a survival difficulty walkthrough where I obtain S rank, so we're just going to start by witnessing the intro and I'll be back once the gameplay begins.
Hiya, Natalia. I'm Lottie. Nice to meet ya.
Nice to meet you too. Lottie? Lottie? Where did you go? What's the matter? Natalia? Huh? You look just like me. Oh, but I am you. Now, tell me why you're so upset. I can't find Lottie. She's my friend. Wow, what a coincidence. I have a postcard from Lottie right here.
Dear Natalia, why did you leave me behind? Don't you love me anymore? I'm all alone now. I'm so sad. I might tear my eyes out.
I didn't leave her behind. I would never. Then you'd better tell her. She sounds like a bear on the edge.
Okay, my friends, here we go with the start of the chapter. So, this chapter essentially plays out like a big stealth mission, unlike Moira's chapter, which was more action driven. In this chapter we can't be spotted by a single enemy. If we get spotted we'll have to start over,
Watch it. There's another one
and
up ahead.
the amount of times that we get discovered will affect our overall rank.
Want me to show you where?
I'm planning on avoiding being discovered even a single time. As you can see, Dark Natalia,
They can't hurt me.
funny name, but Dark Natalia is the one that can spot the enemies here. Natalia can't do it. However, if you point Dark Natalia's finger at an enemy, there will be an orange circle form around that enemy, and then you'll be able to locate them using Natalia. For the most part, this chapter might not seem very hard. However, I can tell you right now that sometimes you think you're safe and you're actually not. You see, for the most part, you can actually pass right
Really me?
by the enemies, like I'm about to do here, and they really won't be able to spot you all that much. I'm just going to demonstrate that right now.
About Lottie. She's all you
We're just going to wait for that revenant to turn around. Wait for that one to turn. And now we can move, and as you can see I'm passing by the side of another revenant, but I'm not standing in front of him, so he won't be able to spot me. So for the most part, like I said, enemies really, they have pretty bad eyesight. However, in some specific cases it's precisely the opposite.
stay close.
Like in this area, and I'm going to show you right now. There are two revenants here, and that one in the back, you need to watch out for that one. You see, if you jump down, and even if you try and sneak past that guy, he will be able to spot you. You need to run up against the wall, then crouch, and then move very close to the barricade, and that's the only way that that guy won't be able to spot you. At least from my experience, that's what works. The first time around that I played this, I tried to sneak and I wasn't close to the wall, and the guy was able to detect me. So I advise you not to take any chances and just do what I'm doing here, and that way you can be sure that he won't be able to spot you. For the most part, like I said, revenants are incredibly stupid or blind. They won't notice Natalia passing right next to them. But there are a few exceptions. And it does get a little bit harder as you progress through the chapters. Let's hide here. And again, there are two revenants there. We're going to wait for that one to turn around, and now we can move down. Enemies can't spot that Dark Natalia because in reality she isn't there. She only exists in Natalia's mind, and she obviously represents Alex Wesker, who's slowly taking control of Natalia. At least that's the way I see it. And that's why apparently Natalia gains powers. Later on, it's due to the fact that Dark Natalia has the powers and she passes them on to Natalia later on. At least that's what makes sense to me. We're going to wait for that guy to pass, and now we can sneak past him and move to the next area. There's one more revenant here, we need to be careful. Wait for him to turn around and then just follow close behind him. You can do a little dance like I'm doing here just to pass the time, because revenants move rather slowly. So, you know, just get jiggy with it a little bit. And we're going to wait for the guy to move forward a little bit more. And now we're going to take this small detour here. And this actually concludes the first chapter, which is very short, so I'm gonna include the next chapter in this segment as well. Let's just read another letter from Lottie. Per avion, as he says.
Dear Natalia, I'm trapped in a tunnel underneath the village. I can't feel my legs. I'm probably dying. Why do you hate me?
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Maybe you should just let her go. No way! She's always been there for me. I won't abandon her.
Okay, let's keep going. Start of chapter 2. I'm going to have to edit out the long loading screens. Took quite a while for this sequence to start, so I'll have to edit those out. Pretty sure it took at least 30 seconds for Lottie's letter to appear. But let's keep going. This section is a little bit more tricky, but we don't have anything to worry about here. Let's wait for the Revenant to turn around, and once again we're going to follow him. Do the little dance if you want, just to pass the time. Boom shakalaka. And we're going to move to the left here. Once this guy stops, stop walking as well, wait for him to turn around. He always turns to the right, so if you're on his right side he will be able to spot you, but if you're on his left side then you're good to go. And now we're going to use the smokescreen bottle, throw it at that guy, and they won't be able to see Natalia, and we can move to the next area. So, not very hard at all. Once you figure out a strategy to approach this chapter, it becomes easy. It's figuring out the best path to take and the way that enemies behave and where they're located, that really takes a while. But once you've understood how it works, it's really not that hard. Okay, 2 more revenants here. They're going in line. They're walking around in a circle, so we're just going to follow behind them. Whatever you do, don't run towards the steps right away because you will be spotted. So we're just going to move behind them. That guy is just colliding against that thing. And I guess he's going to stay there. Not very smart. I can't tell you the amount of times that the enemy's AI just gets stuck somewhere.
I was so scared. All right, we'll keep looking. But I don't think you need her. You're stronger than that now.
And now let's just wait here, switch back to Dark Natalia. Still can't get used to that name. I mean, it's fitting, but send Dark Natalia down. There are 2 enemies here, and once that enemy turns around, you can jump back down with Natalia. And we're going to pick up another smokescreen bottle. The other enemy shouldn't be able to spot me if I stay close to the door. There we go. Now quickly backtrack and get out of here. And forward to the next area. Now in this next area is actually pretty simple. We're just going to hide behind these crates right here and wait for that guy to turn around before we move on ahead. I guess this chapter really clarifies a lot about just how Natalia was slowly taken over by Alex Wesker. And it's a shame in a way. I mean, I guess it makes me interested to see a Resident Evil Revelations 3, but I was really hoping that when Barry took in Natalia, that she would just, have a normal childhood and have a happy family alongside Barry, but it seems that that might not be the case. She might even fool Barry into believing that she's a really nice girl, but I hope Barry doesn't end up dead because of Natalia. I can already see a plot line for Resident Evil Revelations 3 where Natalia is evil, but Barry can't kill her because he's grown attached to her. Actually, you know what? That might actually be a pretty good plot now that I think about it. That might be something for Capcom to consider. It would bring up an emotional aspect that Resident Evil often lacks, but oh well. So after picking up that smokescreen bottle, we're just going to wait up here. For some reason this guy isn't able to detect us when we're on top of the crates, and we're going to go around now. Jump on top of this big crate, and we're just going to wait here for the Revenant to do another turn, and then we'll jump to the other side. Now this is very important for this section. You need to be very careful because you see the Revenant that's standing right below me. If you try and make it to the door, even if you're in crouch position, if you make it through the door from where I was standing, he will be able to spot you. So instead, move close to the crate, make sure you're standing behind the pillar, and then make a run for the door, and the Revenant won't be able to detect you. Again, it's one of those Revenants that can be really tricky to get by because you wouldn't think that he would be able to spot you, but he can, and you do need to be careful. throw a smokescreen bottle, and there we go. There are plenty of smokescreen bottles that we can pick up along the way, so really don't worry too much. Even though, like I said, it's best to pass those first initial areas without using smokescreen bottles, so that you can use them in the last sections of this chapter, which I suppose are a little bit more tricky, but not by much. The only thing annoying about this chapter is how sometimes you don't even understand how an enemy was able to spot you, but it can happen and you'll have to start over. I still think so far that by far Moira's chapter was the hardest one. At least the hardest one in the sense that of figuring out the best strategy to approach her chapter, and just how unforgiven that chapter was.
What if no one wants to be around you because you're a stupid girl who loves stupid teddy bears? I know she's just a teddy bear, but I've had her for so long, she's the only thing left in my life that's good.
It seems that Dark Natalia is trying to poison Natalia's mind by bashing Lottie. I'm thinking that it was Alex Wesker who actually wrote those letters before she killed herself, and she's trying to make Lottie seem terrible in Natalia's eye because Lottie is the only friend that Natalia has, and right now Lottie is the only positive influence on Natalia because Barry hasn't appeared yet. So that would explain things a little bit, but who knows, maybe even the letters that Lottie writes or that Alex Wesker wrote are a product of Natalia's imagination, who knows.
He gave me Lottie when he rescued me in Terra Grigia, but he's gone. And pretty soon Lottie will be too. I'm all you have left. No! I saw them. Didn't I? Or was I just sleeping?
So yeah, it seems like I said, Dark Natalia is slowly poisoning Natalia's mind. But this is going to conclude this segment, my friends. The next one is going to be the last. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later for part number 2. Take care.